If you've wondered how to lose fat on your inner thighs, all right, let's talk about that uncomfortable subject. In this video, we'll talk about why inner thigh fat bothers women. And then we'll go over what won't work for losing inner thigh fat. And last, you'll find out what does work for losing inner thigh fat. So why does inner thigh fat bother us women? More than likely, you're a woman watching this. 93% of my clients are women. I don't know. If you're a guy, welcome. But why does it bother us so much? I think a lot of it has to do with the Instagram culture. A lot of what you see online with Instagram and TikTok and Snapchat and even YouTube, it's filtered, it's Photoshop, it's fake. And guys, did you know that you can pose differently to make it look like you don't have any inner thigh fat? Yeah, I mean, it's hard to see it from this angle because you're zoomed in on me, but if you point towards the camera and shift your weight backwards, shift your hips backwards and lean forward, it actually spreads the fat off your inner thighs and makes all of that look smaller, makes your waist look smaller, and you're gonna look like you have no inner thigh fat, which is not true because you just stand up tall and straight. It's all there. Look, there are filters, there's posing, there's oil, there's lighting. There's a ton of things that people do online when they're posting pictures to hide inner thigh fats. What about the thigh gap? Oh my gosh, and don't get me started on the thigh gap. I think that is so ridiculous. Personally, I don't want to have a thigh gap. I don't want my thighs to have a gap in between. I don't like it. I mean, I'm not judging you. If you got one, that's fine, but I'm not striving for that. And I don't think that's a sign of perfection or a sign of beauty or whatever. I don't want that. I want big, muscular, powerful, meaty thighs. Personally, that's just me. But the whole thigh gap, I mean, talking about making women so insecure and so uncomfortable and making us believe that this is the way that bodies are supposed to look? Absolutely not. If your thighs touching, that's perfectly normal. That's perfectly okay. So why do we accumulate fat on our inner thighs? Now listen, women, even though some of us chose to not have kids, we're still created for childbearing. Speaking in terms of evolution, we were designed to have babies. And in order to grow and carry a baby, the skin around that area that's going to expand needs to expand. So you'll notice that the skin on our bellies and our thighs and our bottom and our hips, it's a little bit thinner. That's why you can see a lot of cellulite there for some of us. And so with the expansion and the contraction, you're gonna see a little bit of sagging there, and you're gonna maybe see a little bit of fat there. And I'm not saying that it's okay for any of us, I'm putting myself in here too, to have an overabundance of thigh fat or an overabundance of fat on any of us. But that's why we accumulate it there. Our jobs are to grow babies. Our jobs are to birth babies. That's what we are supposed to do. And so our bodies are made for that purpose. They're made to expand. Our bodies are made to shrink back in between babies. And you're just gonna notice that your thighs do the same thing. But let me stop a second and address cellulite. Cellulite might not be what you think it is. A lot of people just think that cellulite is just hanging fat. That's actually not true. Cellulite, if you look at the structure of it, it just shows that there's an atrophied, saggy muscle underneath. So when it comes to improving cellulite and the appearance of cellulite, staying hydrated is gonna help, losing body fat is gonna help, and getting that muscle underneath back where it needs to be is gonna help. Another point I wanna make about fat cells is you actually don't lose and gain fat cells. You are born with a certain amount of fat, and they expand or they shrink according to you and what's going on in your life. And if you're on the Code Red lifestyle, if you're on Code Red, we know they're gonna shrink. But that's what they do. You don't lose fat. Like, I'm losing a lot of fat. We say that, but you actually don't lose it. You just shrink it down. Just something for you to think about in case you didn't know that. Nice little fun tip. we do want you to be balanced in your body. It's not good to be top heavy. It's not good to be bottom heavy. And I am bottom heavy. I tell you, I'm speaking from experience when I come to you and I talk about this. I carry the majority of my body fat below my belly button. You can see it. Like a lot of times when I'm posing on Instagram, I do what a lot of Instagram people do too, is I will show you the parts I want to show you and cover up the parts that I don't want to show you. I mean, I do it too. And so when I pose, you'll see me pose maybe flexing my upper body and showing you my abs, but keeping a baggy pair of sweatpants on because that's where I carry my fat. And there's nothing wrong with carrying your fat there. You don't want too much fat there. You don't want too much fat in your arms or your neck or your calves. You need to be balanced. But I don't want to demonize the thigh fat because as long as you are metabolically healthy and as long as you're at a healthy weight for you that is not a strain on your back or your joints or you have fatty liver or anything like that, then that's okay. Do you look like some sort of a Victoria's Secret swimsuit model? They don't even look like that, guys. That's photoshopped. That's doctored up, okay? I want you to keep realistic ideas of what the female body should look like. If you have inner thigh fat and you want to get rid of it perfectly fine, we can help you get rid of that. But first, make sure that you have the right mindset when it comes to inner thigh fat. So what won't work for losing inner thigh fat? Exercise. And I know, complete shocker. I get it. But remember, exercise has nothing to do with weight loss or fat loss. That's a big one. And a lot of people are like, oh, Cristy's wrong. Yeah, I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong about this. You can't exercise off your bad diet. You got to change your diet. Let's just get that out of the way. Exercise is not a way to address your weight problem. And you can't spot reduce fat. You can't target a certain area like going to the gym and just doing squats all day long and thinking that's going to reduce your inner thigh fat. In order to reduce body fat, and we'll go through that next, but in order to reduce body fat, you're going to have to change your diet. But it's going to be impossible for you to go to the gym and try to target with that machine where your legs go out and in. Like the Jane Fonda used to have the Thigh Master, that was it. And so many women thought they were going to reduce that inner thigh fat with the Thigh Master. Some of you guys are too young to know, but some of my older people, hello, Jane Fonda Thigh Master, you remember the infomercial. And some people think, well, I'm just going to squat. And although squatting is healthy for a lot of other reasons, it's not going to get that inner thigh fat off that you don't like. What won't work for reducing inner thigh fat is cutting too low on sleep. Yeah, you didn't expect me to say that, did you? The body senses the lack of sleep as stress and will hang on to body fat as a way to protect you. You ain't sleeping, you ain't losing. In fact, you'll notice if you cut too low on sleep, your body fat's gonna go up. And sometimes it has nothing to do with what you're eating. I mean, one time I went through here recently, I think I had to fire an employee or something was stressful, and I did 3 days of almost no sleep. And the scale went up a pound every single day. And I wasn't eating anything bad. I wasn't having robin eggs, or I wasn't having Twizzlers, or I wasn't, having big bowls of lasagna. I was eating my normal clean diet. And I was still staying hydrated. And yet the only thing I was doing wrong was I was cutting too low on sleep. You will not reduce your body fat if you cut too low on sleep. Shorten your sleep, shorten your life. It is the number one biggest rule in fat loss and in weight loss. So if you're wanting to reduce fat everywhere, you gotta sleep. You won't lose body fat if you run around dehydrated. You just won't. Look, everywhere I go, everything I do, no matter what, I am always staying hydrated, and you've got to stay hydrated too. Code Red Rebels drink at least a gallon of water a day. And this is the minimum. Personally for me, but I'm really used to water, I drink 160 ounces of water a day. And of course, it's more or less depending on what I'm doing or the time of the year, but I never drink less than 128 ounces, and neither should you. Our society is chronically dehydrated, and it's not good. It is the number 2 rule in weight loss and losing body fat. By the way, do you like my bottle? You can pick up one of these bottles. This is a Code Red water bottle. And this is a 40-ounce water bottle with a flip-up straw because I have a lot of lipstick and that really helps me. And you can get it engraved if you want with some sort of saying or your name. I have my name for only $10 more. I'll link that up below. Just click on the link if you are interested. And these are just great. But you've got to keep up your water drinking. There's no way around that. See, when you cut too low on your hydration, you can actually reduce your strength. And what do I mean by that? Even a 1% drop in hydration could yield a 10% drop in strength. And you're thinking, well, I don't deadlift, okay? It has nothing to do with, yeah, deadlifting, I guess if that's what you do, but carrying in your 3-year-old from the car when she fell asleep, carrying in your groceries, just doing everyday stuff, you will notice a diminished amount of strength when you cut too low on water. So don't let yourself get dehydrated. But we're talking about body fat right now. And yeah, it also has to do with reducing body fat. And you won't burn inner thigh fat if you're just running on glucose. Look, the body uses 2 fuel systems, glucose and ketones. In the absence of glucose, your body will burn its own fat for fuel. But if you continue to give it sugar, glucose, it prefers glucose. That's easier, that's quicker. So get off the sugar, because you're not going to burn that thigh fat if you're eating too much sugar. So what will work when it comes to losing inner thigh fat? Lowering your insulin. Yes. And you're thinking, well, Cristy, I'm not diabetic. Oh, I'm not diabetic either, but I still eat like a diabetic. I act like a diabetic. I monitor my blood sugar. Like a normal blood sugar is between 80 and 120. But we like on Code Red between 80 and 100. Really, you don't need to be above that. But by keeping your insulin levels down, the body can keep fat burning up. When you eat anything, your blood sugar is going to go up and your pancreas is going to release insulin. Insulin helps get the sugar out of the bloodstream and into the cell to be used for energy. But in the presence of insulin, the fat burning hormones are turned off. So you can't burn fat in the presence of insulin. How crappy is that? Hey, listen, we need insulin. We just need a small amount for a very short amount of time. So by only eating meat, vegetables, nuts, eggs, seeds, seafoods, and fat, like we do on the Code Red lifestyle, you're only triggering a small amount of insulin very quick, and then it gets out of the way, and the fat burning can now take place, and that is what we all want, isn't it? You gotta get off the sugar. We all need to get off the sugar. If you're having sugar even a little bit, I'm talking about any more than 20 grams a day of total sugar, that's not good. Sugar ages the organs. And the skin is an organ. Sugar feeds into disease, feeds into cancer. I mean, we know this. This is not controversial. When they detect cancer in someone's body, what do? They give them a large dose of sugar and they watch it. They monitor the sugar, and then where it goes is where the cancer is, because sugar feeds cancer cells. If you want tight skin and you want to reduce that fat in your inner thigh area, get off the sugar, because we don't want to do more damage to the skin than has already taken place. And your skin needs to be nice and firm to hold those thighs nice and firm. Before we go on to my next point, I want to hear from you. And I'm laughing right now. I'm smiling because what's going through my brain is crazy stuff that I know I used to do for my inner thigh fat. I want to hear what you used to do. So comment below and tell me, how did you attack the fat on your inner thighs? If you want to reduce body fat, don't eat late. This is crazy to me that people fight me on this all the time, and they're so used to eating late and they think it doesn't matter. It's one of the major problems that we have. In our custom program, we choose the right eating time for you and we help you, we work with you to choose that. But on our challenge, nobody eats past 6:30 p.m. And it doesn't matter if you go to bed at midnight and 1 o'clock in the morning. Like, that's a different video for a different time. Don't get me started on that. But eating late will cause you to not lose body fat. And come on, we all want to lose body fat, especially on those inner thighs. Make sure that you are cutting off that eating time early. The way the body loses weight is from the extremities in and from the top down. So probably the last place you will notice your fat loss, I'm sorry to say, is on the inner thighs. You're gonna notice them through your ears and your neck and your rings. You're gonna notice them through your watch and then on in. And the last place is gonna be the truncal region. And the reason for that is back when in the earlier caveman days, we were worried about being stabbed by a saber-toothed tiger. And so we accumulated body fat around our organs in order to protect us from some sort of an accident. We would shunt blood and we would make sure that we did not bleed out. And so that's kind of close to that. But you'll just notice from here to here, that's going to be the last place that you lose fat. I'm sorry to say it will happen. It's just not going to happen maybe as quick as you want. I I do want you to remember this. There are many ways to measure progress, and I don't want you to rely just on the scale. Yes, we do weigh ourselves every morning as Code Red Rebels. Yes, the scale is the first line of defense when it comes to either avoiding or repeating what we did yesterday. Yes, we do use the scale, but it's not the end all be all. I want you to take progress photos. I want you to take measurements, and I want you to use your clothes as a way to try to measure your progress. Jeans out of the dryer. Look, everybody knows jeans out of the dryer is a great way to give you some feedback that whatever you've been doing is working or not working. Use other ways to measure. If you are interested in losing inner thigh fat or overall body fat, you can work with me 2 different ways. You can join a 10-pound takedown challenge, which happens every month, $47. Lose at least 10 pounds in 30 days by following very simple rules and foods lists. Or you can skip to the front of the line and have me write a fully customized, personalized nutrition program for you for 10% of your body weight off every month. Either way, you need to make a change and start following these tips that I told you in this video so that you can start reducing your overall body fat. Any one of us really could stand to lose some fat, and probably you do too. Use the tips I gave you in this video. Join my next challenge. I've got links below for you for easy. Just go to the description, check them out, and I'll see you on the next video.